Karen, we now know the name of the man that was shot and killed. Authorities say that Jose de Jesus Munoz Gomez shot and killed his 78-year-old father-in-law, Wesley Wes Anderson. So many of those homes damaged in yesterday's storms were also hit in the big set of storms we got at the end of June. Here we've zoomed in on that surveillance video from the incident in September where police shot and killed the 17-year-old after they say he had a gun and was holding another person hostage. It was at this home where police found a 19-year-old woman dead and a man fighting for his life after a gunshot wound. That man was able to give police information that led them to a second home here in rural Ashland. Alyssa and Karen, a law went into effect in January that expanded the time that the Illinois Department of Human Services had to transfer these inmates deemed unfit. Don, we got a lot of information today about what led up to the shooting. Now, we know that this started as a traffic stop, but ISP didn't say exactly what the stop was for. But Don and Sean, legislators say this issue should have never happened as bail was never intended to fund budgets. Right now, this field behind me may look like just an empty field, but it will soon be the home of the new Shields Sports Complex. Now, just to get a scope of how big that is, just the dome section of it is supposed to be 190,000 square feet, which is the same height but twice the length of the current Shields building. There's still plenty of time for you to come down to the Decatur Downtown Christmas Walk. I'll have more on everything you can enjoy down here tonight in just a few minutes. Dawn, we're having handfuls of fun, handfuls of candy, I guess buckets full of candy out here at Good Samaritan Inn.
If you looked at Nathan McClure's rap sheet, you'd find 21 burglary charges and more than $100,000 in damage. More than a dozen of those charges have happened just since November.
But McClure is still on the streets even after being arrested several times. WD's Carlee Bronkema spoke with a business owner who was burglarized not once, but twice.
Because I don't feel safe inside my office. I have panic attacks right now if I sit in my office.
Gulshan Rai has owned Ray's Laundry for 5 years. This year, the struggles of being a small business owner got harder.
I just feel like every day is a nightmare for me. I don't feel secure anymore because it can happen anytime again.
Police say this man, Nathan McClure, broke into Ray's Laundry on November 30th.
It is very, very disheartening.
Rai fixed his window, and the same night of the repairs, a burglar hit the store again.
It's been a kind of like a nightmare for me for the last about a month now.
Rai feels like his hands are tied as a business owner. He has more than a dozen security cameras, signs warning criminals, and even took the video to police. But it's not just Ray's Laundry. Rai says several other local stores have also been burglarized by McClure.
That person has broken into about 14 businesses in the last 45 days. And the total loss is about $110,000 for all the businesses.
But a new law allows some criminals to be released even after continuing to commit crimes.
This is a case where he's got, 14 this year. Is that not enough offenses to consider him a danger?
Well, that's the argument. We say that it is. I think the judge would find that it is enough.
The Pretrial Fairness Act took effect in September. Under the new law, burglary to a business is not a detainable offense.
Before he actually got to court on his first court date on those 8 cases, he committed another 4, allegedly.
Chief Brandel says this case is just one example of the flawed law, which allows repeat offenders to keep offending.
But how do we adequately protect the community when the very people that are threatening it are just continually released back into the community to do the exact same thing they were doing?
This law should be abolished as quickly as possible. In my mind, he's going to break it in somebody's business or my business again, because he knows that he's not getting punished for his crimes.
This recent spree isn't new. McClure has spent years in custody for burglary. For now, State's Attorney Scott Reeder has filed an appeal, but says an overall change needs to be made to keep the community safe.
What that means now is we're looking at possibly just having everyone sit in jail overnight until they can appear in front of a judge.
If a person after breaking for 14 times is running loose, what law it is? It's not a law at all.
In Decatur, Carlee Bronkema, WAND News.
Chief Brindell says most crimes in Macon County are at the same level or have decreased. Retail theft is the only crimes where they have seen an increase in cases.
New tonight at 6, a celebrated Chicago chef serving his specialties in Springfield.
Can't get these dishes in a restaurant, Don. They're only available served from a bus parked at the corner of 11th Street in Washington. WAD's Carlee Bronkema shows us what's so special about what he serves up.
But lunch is going to be so good.
From steaks to pancakes, Michael Earhart has always been creative in the kitchen.
Welcome to the cafe.
It used to be because he had to.
I used to take pasta noodles at 8 years old, boil them with butter, get the noodle, and then I would take the government cheese, mix that with it with some hot sauce. That's oodle noodle.
And now it's his passion to help others.
Nacho cheese that you put on that goes on top of that with the sour cream. Oh.
He uses a bus and a van to travel the country and serve his high-quality meals.
So I'm giving them the big beef shish kebab and a taste of that, and in the morning we're doing shrimp and grits.
But at this restaurant, your money is no good. Every meal is given to the homeless community.
If all I gotta do is get them a hot meal, I can't provide you with a house right now. I can't give you if I could just give them a hot meal of their choice, I did my job.
Right now, Chef Michael is set up in front of Helping Hands of Springfield, but travels from state to state to serve his food.
They say, you know, you like a rapper. And I said, what you mean? They said, well, you on tour.
His goal is to restore hope by helping people feel whole again.
So a lot of people say, well, why the homeless, they shouldn't have an option to pick what they want. Yes, they should.
Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh my goodness.
With a side of smiles. In Springfield, Carlee Bronkema, WAND News.
Yeah, earlier this year, Michael received a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden.